With Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. We're showing the second part of The Adventures of Frank and Jessie James. This stars Clayton Moore and Noel Neal. I met Noel Neal years ago downtown. I was coming off of the fire department early, got dressed, and went downtown, and when I was standing in line, waiting, I was the first one there. They came out and they explained to me it would be a while before she showed up, which I didn't mind, and then the crowd started to come. After her appearance was supposed to start at a certain time, she was delayed. When she came out, she was like a little girl. She was dancing up and down on her 2 feet, saying that she had to go to the little girl's room before she could make it out here to the public. She talked to me for a few minutes, and she told me she had heard that I was the first one in line and that I had been waiting for a while. I told her it was well worth the wait. So here we are with the second part of Jessie James, played by Clayton Moore. Thanks.
driving.
Nice job of driving, Howard.
What became of your partner?
He took a tumble back yonder. Send somebody back to pick him up, will you, while I collect the prize money?
Sure, glad to.
Come on, Judy.
$1,000.
Yep, real cash money. Enough to open up the mine, Judy, so Frank and I can start paying off some of the debt the James brothers owe to society.
Jessie, you know there have been a lot of crimes charged up to you that you boys had nothing to do with.
I know that. So do you and Frank. But let's not fool ourselves, Judy. There's a lot of people that think otherwise. Of course, if the mine idea does pay off, maybe Frank and I can take back our real names and not have to do any more hiding.
The mine will pay off. You'll see.
I think so, too, now that we can get men and material to work it.
Will you start in the new or the abandoned tunnel?
Well, that'll be up to Amos Ramsey. He's the mine expert.
So I advised him to start working the new tunnel.
Go on. I know you're not going to let them walk off with $1 million gold mine. What's up your sleeve?
Here. Look. Now, here's the new tunnel. It'll take a week to clean it out and shore it up so it'll be safe enough to blast through the rock fault here. Now, while we're busy in the new tunnel, you go in the old tunnel and blast. Starting here, you should reach the ore vein at this point.
And then what?
So you remove the ore, fill the hole with plain rock, and blast it shut.
I still don't see what you're getting at.
Well, when we blow through the fault, all we'll find is worthless rock. I'll report the vein as lost.
And we buy the no good property for peanuts.
Exactly. So, you get yourself a crew and start working. When everything is all set, you will then...
How's it going?
Right on schedule. All the ore is out. We'll be ready to blast her shut anytime you say.
Good. I've got a date with the banker in Allentown. I'd like to get moving as fast as I can. Careful with those wires while I take a look.
Well, folks, the tunnel's ready, and I've laid off the men. In the morning, I'll blast, and let's hope it uncovers a big silver vein.
I'm sure it will. Dad said the silver was there, and he knew. In fact, I'm so sure I've asked Rosita to fix a supper for us. Let's celebrate.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judy. I'm not through here yet. You go on.
You'd better come along, Amos. You've earned the party.
Oh, I'd like to, but... Well, maybe next time. Sure.
So long, Amos.
Well, nice fast job Amos has done.
Yes, he's a good mine engineer. You go ahead, Judy, and get things ready. We'll be there shortly.
What's the idea?
Won't do any harm to give the tunnel a final check over.
Oh, I guess not.
Well, don't be long.
Well, everything seems to be all right.
Yeah, Frank, everything seems to be in pretty good shape.
All set?
Yeah, let her go.
What was that?
Sounds like someone blasting in the other tunnel.
That did it. Get those wires out of here and we'll be on our way.
Riley. What are you doing in here?
Stay with him. I'm going after Rafe.
that I've got Howard, what do you think? Do I finish him off, or can we use him?
We use him. With Howard's help, I think we can get control of the mine legally.
Sounds interesting. Where do we begin?
The first thing you gotta do is take Howard up to your shack. And then...
Senorita Judy, Senor Carol's here. Have you heard anything?
Not a word.
Any clue at all?
Nothing.
We must do something.
Don't worry, Judy. You can make sure I won't give up till I found my brother. If anything's happened to him, Ray Tenley better make himself scarce.
Look at this.
Miss Powell, if you want to see John Howard alive, come along to the shack off the trail on Burroughs Flats. If you tell anyone about this, it is Howard's finish.
There's no way out of it. I've got to go.
No, don't go. They will kill him and you too.
Rosita, get my cape.
No, Judy, she's right. Let me handle this. I'll get the sheriff.
The note says to come along. We'd better do it.
Well, we're all ready for our guest, Howard. Know who it is?
I'm not interested.
I think you'll talk differently when you see your cousin.
My cousin. Judy?
So you are interested. Well, she's going to sign this quitclaim deed, giving up all her rights in a certain mine you know about. And she's going to sign it to save your life.
Judy wouldn't be such a fool. She knows you're a double-crossing liar and would kill me anyhow.
Shut up. No, don't bust him yet. We have to keep him pretty until the girl gets here. Put a gag on him. Sorry, we can't let you greet your cousin, but I'll take care of that. Powell, the document here I'd like to have you sign. Copy gun. Take that gag off him and untie him. Yeah, no use going after Rafe. I came in the buckboard.
Guess you're right, Frank.
You know, for a man with his hands tied, you put up a pretty good battle.
You didn't do bad yourself. For a lady. Take a look around. You might find something that'll give us a clue to what's going on and why.
There's no use going through this stuff. There's nothing here to help us.
Wait a minute. Here's something. It's a rough map of some kind. It might indicate Rafe's meeting place. A hideout or something he's got stashed away. But it doesn't add up for me.
Nor for me.
Well, it's possible that it might be connected with the mine and the trouble we've been having. Especially if Rafe is connected with it.
Well, at this point, your guess is as good as anybody's.
Well, if it was, Judy, did you have anything special in mind?
Well, if it is connected with the mine, now mind you, this is just a stab in the dark, then I'd start with this drawing, which might be Saddlehorn Rock.
Why Saddlehorn?
Well, if these bumpy things are supposed to be hills, there's a rock in Half Moon Canyon which is shaped like a saddlehorn. It's a landmark.
Nice reasoning, Judy. And face E would mean face east from the rock. That would be to the right toward the hills.
Oh, I'd say that's a little far-fetched.
That's right, but it's the best we've got to go on.
Well, what do we got to lose? Let's try it.
No use going off half-cocked, Bob. If this is of any importance to Rafe and his gang, it might be better if we did our investigating at night.
Good enough. Besides, I could do with something to eat before we start.
Good idea. Let's go, Judy. See you later, Ramsey.
Right, bye.
See you.
And they found the chart you made for the hiding place of the gold ore we took from the mine.
So what? They won't be able to figure it out.
They have figured it out. Howard and Kell are riding out there tonight.
Then I'd better move the ore.
They won't have time. If they get wise to what's in that mine, then we're finished. Through. Besides, I've got an idea we can turn the tables on those cowwaddies.
Sounds like a job coming up. Shoot.
When they're riding out from Saddlehorn Rock tonight,
This must be the rock Judy was talking about.
Yes. Looks like a saddle horn.
It does.
Map says face east. That's north. That's east over there.
There must be a canyon leading out of there. Frank, you take the left trail, and I'll take the right one.
Good enough. Big, pick at the horses. You fellas take cover in the rock. They've got to come through here. only one of them. We ain't waiting for the other. Let him have it when I fire. There's only one of them. We ain't waiting for the other. Let him have it when I fire. Well, that does for one of them. Let's go see who we've got. Get around and see if we can find him. We can't make that jump. Come on.
sworn we got one of them. Well, you didn't. While you were sleeping, they backtracked and found the ore you'd buried. And even those cow-waddies could see the gold.
Well, they haven't found the vein it came from.
Now get this. We're in danger. Not only of losing the mine, but of doing time for trying to grab it. We're hauling the ore into Allentown. Thatcher'll stand back at the credit and help get supplies and explosives.
That means they'll open up the old tunnel and locate the gold vein. When do you think they'll be back with the supplies?
Late tomorrow afternoon.
I'll stop them.
Now see that you do. This time, stop John Howard for good. With your first shot. Hello, Miss Judy. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing really. It's just after all this trouble we've had, I'm a little worried.
I wouldn't be. Your cousins can take care of the situation.
John,
Hello, Judy. Look, Ramsey, we've got 3 wagon loads of supplies coming in. And with all these attacks, I don't think it's safe to bring the explosives here or keep them in the mine.
I think it's safe enough. Besides, where else would you store it?
In the old abandoned tunnel about 4 miles to the south.
Oh, that won't do. That place is all cluttered up with old timbers and broken machinery.
I know. That's why I cut cross country and came on ahead. I want you to have the men clean it up before the wagons get there.
That doesn't give me much time.
Do the best you can. I'm heading back to join Bob and the wagons. We'll turn off at the fork and save several miles haul. So long, Judy.
wait, John. You've hardly said hello to me.
Well, anyway, we know that there's gold in the mine somewhere. And with our new equipment, we'll soon be able to uncover it. You'll be rich, Judy.
That'll be nice, of course. But what makes me really happy is that you and Frank can complete your plans. If the folks you're supposed to have robbed are paid off, maybe they'll all stop hounding you.
I hope so, Judy. Well, I'll be getting back to the wagons. Perhaps we can get the stuff safely stored away before Rafe and his gang find out we're on the move.
Be careful, Jessie.
There's our mink, man. Let's get him. Howard rode in and knocked off one of my men before he knew he was there. If you told me he wasn't with the wagon...
I didn't know until it was too late to warn you.
Well, anyhow, he got clean away with their stuff.
You've got to hit them again. They'll be at the tunnel in another hour, and you can surprise them while they're unloading.
Glad this job's about done.
Yeah, it's been a long haul.
not wipe out Judy Powell and her cousin before they can start working the mine.
You ought to know that's not an easy job.
Yeah, you're right.
Besides, there's more ways than one to skin a cat.
What's your angle?
We'll get the law on our side. It's easy. I'll get Tom Dale to file a claim stopping all work on the mine until the courts consent.
Thomas Dale? Dale. I never heard of Father doing business with any such person. When we go into court, I'll...
You're not going into court, Miss Judy. The marshal is holding a private hearing here in the bank. But it's just as serious. Dale claims prior ownership to that mine. We'll have to stop all operation until that claim is settled.
But we have papers to prove it's our mine.
Yes, and they also prove that we're Frank and Jesse James. Mr. Thatcher here is doing business with two outlaws.
That's just it. The only legal evidence we have has your signatures on it.
But if the marshal learns you're trying to pay back the money to the supposed victims of the James gang...
Judy, the marshal's not interested in what we want to do now. He only knows our past.
And our whole plan is blown higher than a kite.
Not necessarily. We should be able to force Dale to admit his claim is a fraud at the hearing.
There's only one thing wrong with that. He's not showing up. He's an invalid.
That's right. His lawyer filed a stop work order claim for him. And now we can't locate Dale or his lawyer.
Well, I don't know what...
Wait a minute. Dale must have filed his claim with the recorder. His address will be on the papers. I can trace him through that.
Yes, but you'd have to have Dale here before we present this evidence, or we're finished. And don't forget, he's a sick man.
I'll bring Dale back if I have to carry him on a stretcher. Now stall as long as you can. I'll try to be here on time.
Good luck, Jesse.
Howdy, stranger.
Howdy.
What can I do for you?
My name is Howard. I'd like the address of Tom Dale. He filed a prior claim on the Powell mine.
Sorry, mister. That's confidential information. You'll have to get a court order to see any papers here.
I don't want to see any papers. I just want his address.
Oh. I misunderstood you. I think I have it in the ledger. I'll see. Now get out of here before I call the sheriff.
Now get me that claim. Thomas Dale, State Road, vicinity of Caldwell. Howdy. Oh, where can I find Thomas Dale?
You're looking at him now.
What? I thought you were an invalid.
Well, I am sort of, but Doc said it'd be all right to take a little exercise.
Now, that's good. Then you'll be able to go to Allentown and prove your claim on the Powell mine.
Not me, stranger. I ain't going nowhere.
Why did you make claim to the Powell mine? You know it isn't true.
It is true. Powell and me prospected that mine together.
Yeah? When?
Well, I don't rightly know. 5 years ago, maybe 6.
Powell bought that mine 12 years ago. Now let's get started. Come on.
I got your message. What's up? That Howard character you told me about. He forced me to give him Dale's address.
Didn't I tell you what to say?
Sure, but I get tongue-tied when a guy pokes a gun at me.
Never mind that. When did he leave?
Oh, around an hour ago. Probably got to Dale's by now.
An hour. Then I still have time to keep him from upsetting the hearing.
Come on, boy.
It's getting close to time for the hearing. How do you feel about presenting his evidence?
Not too good. It's packed with dynamite.
But Jessie's sure to get here with Dale in time.
Well, that's only half of it. Dale's got to withdraw his claim before we present these papers.
He will. I know he will. Jessie'll make him.
Very well, gentlemen. I'm ready to hear both sides of this prior claim.
Thank you. I represent Thomas Dale, an invalid.
I represent the Powell interest, Marshal. We'd like a temporary postponement because of a delayed witness. It should be here at any moment.
You've had ample time, Thatcher, and should be ready. I'll give you 10 minutes. No more.
Thanks.
We can head him up at the pass leading to town. Come on.
Time's up, Mr. Thatcher. You'll just have to depend on your documentary evidence. You may begin for your client.
We intend to prove, by affidavit, of course, that my client, Thomas Dale, and the late James Powell prospected together. And, we demand the mine be kept closed until a complete audit can be made of its resources, and an assignment of 50% awarded to the plaintiff.
Let them have the mine.
No, Judy. We'll play out the hand.
Now, Mr. Thatcher.
Failure of our witness to appear places us in a difficult position. Just a little more time.
I said 10 minutes and no more. If you have evidence to disprove the claim, let's have it.
Marshal sees the signatures. Let them have the mine.
No, Judy. We'll play out the hand.
Now, Mr. Thatcher, if you have evidence to disprove the claim, let's have it.
But what if the Marshal sees the signatures?
What's the meaning of this disturbance? Who are these people, Thatcher?
This is my missing witness, Marshal. Thomas Dale, the plaintiff.
The plaintiff? I thought the plaintiff was an invalid.
I found him splitting wood, Marshal. He's admitted making a false affidavit regarding the mine.
Well, this is not.
What's your explanation for this?
Man was an invalid when I took the case.
We'll see what he says about this. Now then, you admit you never prospected with Jim Powell?
Yes, sir.
And the affidavit you signed is false?
Yes.
Why did you do it? Someone pay you?
Answer the question. If you refuse to answer, I'll have to hold you for fraud. Now speak up.
All right, I'll tell. A fellow named...
Get after him, Frank. Where's your horse?
The livery stable.
And as far as I could find out, Dale is still unconscious.
There's nothing to worry about. He won't live long.
Maybe not. But suppose he does come out of it. He'll tell that I paid him to swear out that affidavit. Where'll I be?
Well, it won't be so easy to finish him off now.
I don't want him killed yet.
You what?
Now listen a minute. Suppose Dale's already told what he knows, or part of it.
Well, in that case, we'd better get out of here quick. You really think he's talked?
This is no time for guessing. There's $1 million worth of gold in that mine, and I don't intend for Dale to do me out of it. If he's talked, I've got to know what he said. Then I can work out an alibi.
That makes sense. But how are you going to find out until it's too late to do anything?
It's not too hard. They haven't been able to move Dale out of the bank yet. So tonight, till the town's quieted down,
Hope Dale lives until the doctor gets back.
Looks like Ray Finley silenced him, all right, like he meant to.
No, it isn't all Ray. There's somebody else doing this thinking for him. Somebody a lot smarter than Ray.
If Dale could answer one question, we'd know who that was.
Yeah, that's right. What beats me isn't as if Frank and I were trying to develop the mine for ourselves. Shucks, all our share goes to you, Thatcher. Or rather through you to pay back the money stolen by the James gang.
James gang? Ridiculous. You know you and Frank aren't guilty of the things people say.
Sure, Judy. But it still doesn't change the record. Maybe the money from the mine will. Hey, it's getting late. Why don't you and Judy get some supper?
What if Dale talks?
We'll let you know at once.
All right.
Run along, Judy.
Hello, Doctor.
How do you do?
Glad you're back, Howard.
How is he, Doc? Not good. I'll give him some stimulants, so get ready to question him.
Dale. Can you hear me? Who paid you to claim Jim Powell's gold mine?
It was. Quiet, Dale. Get your hands up.
Dave's dead.
Get outside and get those polecats.
Oh, wait. Maybe we can still find out who Ray's boss is.
What do you mean?
You keep firing. Doc, fix me up so I can pass for Dale in the dark. Sit down. Slow down on the shooting, Bob. Give me a hand with Dale.
Either the ammunition's gone or they're all down. Let's go and see.
Here they come.
All right, play dead.
We got 'em all. Give me a hand with Dale and clear out of here fast.
Get along.
I've got Dale here. Give me a hand.
This guy don't look so good. Is he dead?
I hope not. There are a few questions the boss wants answered if he comes to.
Who is the boss, Rafe?
Howard.
Go ahead and draw. Now toss me your guns. One at a time.
Rafe?
You.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Now, if that isn't a fine-looking hand. Homer. Welcome to the West, Homer.
I discovered nothing in our transaction that warrants your familiarity. In future, you will kindly refer to me as the Honorable Homer Virgilius Potts, senior member of the New York law firm of Potts, Peabody, Potts, and Potts.
You Potts need some pans in your outfit.
That, I presume, is the provincial conception of a humorous remark. Well, when one is obliged to descend to the level of savages, one must be prepared to endure their curious customs.
That level you talk about, mister, is no lower than the opinion I'm getting of you.
Madam, will you please hand me my key? Summons the porter to carry my luggage.
Now, looky here, Homer. Every hombre that bunks here totes his own bindle.
Would it be too much to ask you to translate that into English?
Why, you stuffed polecat, you! Take this key and vamoose before I ventilate your britches with my scattergun.
Savage.
Howdy, Ma Hank.
Well, Cindy Powers, I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays.
No, Dad and I have been mighty busy at that ranch.
I've been sniffing the breeze for them orange blossoms till my nose give out. I thought you and Marshal Jim had tied the knot long ago.
Well, we would have, Ma, but there's been so much trouble at the ranch. I'm afraid Dad's gonna lose his spread if we don't raise money enough to buy land with a steady flow of water. Our own creek's gone bone dry.
Oh, I didn't realize things could get as tough as that.
But maybe our luck's about to take a turn. I've got an uncle with loads of money. He wrote that he'd be coming in from New York today.
His name wouldn't be Homer, I hope.
Yes, that's it. You don't mean you've seen him?
Seen him? I almost clobbered him. Such a persnickety critter I never met. You say he's a kin of yours?
Well, Uncle Homer is a trifle high hat, but maybe the West will change all that. Change Dad and me.
Maybe snakes will grow hair.
Where is he?
Madam? Madam, there are no sheets on my bed.
As the feller says, Homer, sheets are for dead men. Howsoever, it's my opinion that you're gonna need one if you don't get down off of your fancy high horse.
Oh.
Oh, Uncle Homer.
Not now, young man. Can't you see that I'm... Did you say Uncle Homer? Lucinda. But this absurd masculine attire, to think that a niece of mine should abandon all sense of propriety. Such, I suppose, is the effect of this barbaric environment.
You're just prejudiced, Uncle Homer. Wait till you've seen the West.
My dear child, I've already seen more than enough. It's a den of lawless iniquity. I wasn't in town 5 minutes before one of the local savages discharged a pistol, knocking off my hat.
Oh, that's nothing to get upset over. These cowpokes just can't keep from plugging a high hat. Oh, come on, Uncle Homer. Where's your sense of humor?
I'm returning to New York and civilization by the first coach out of here.
Oh, but Uncle Homer, Dad and me have been counting on you. Without your help, we'll lose the ranch.
Probably the best thing that ever happened to you. And I won't need the sheets.
Ma, Hank, what am I going to do?
Now, just sit down.
It'll break Dad's heart if we have to lose the ranch.
Now, there, dearie, just quit fretting. You just leave everything to Ma.
Hmm?
I'll fix it so your Uncle Homer can't leave town. And if my plan works, your Uncle Uppity Nose will be needing your help bad.
But how?
Well, now, you just leave everything to me. Come on, get in your buckboard and go on home. And on the way home, stop off at the jailhouse and tell Marshal Jim that I want to see him pronto.
All right.
And don't let him start romancing you, because this scheme calls for clear heads and feet on the ground.
We go to Modoc City, Kimasabi?
Yes, Tonto. The Treasury Department's representative who contacted me in Houston asked me to get in touch with Marshal Jim in Modoc City.
You think this has to do with Billy B. Hung and his gang of plane robbers?
Well, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Even though Billy B. Hung and his men have been caught and jailed, there's still some mystery about the money they stole in their last holdup. I'm sure Marshal Jim could tell us all about it.
Well, what do you think of the scheme, Marshal Jim?
You sure come up with some Lulu's, Ma. I gotta hand it to you. That's the funniest idea I ever heard. Well, come on, show me this hombre's room.
Let's go.
I only hope I can keep a straight face.
Open up.
Who is it?
This is the law.
The law?
Open up, I said.
Just a moment.
All right, you're under arrest.
What?
And don't try anything, Doc.
Doc, but Marshal, you're making a gross mistake. I am the Honorable Homer Virgilius Potts.
You're Doc Bogus, that's who you are, king of the counterfeiters. You answer the wanted descriptions right down to the highfalutin talk.
Madam, will you please inform this officious public servant who I am?
You're the fellow that said there wasn't any law in the West.
Marshal, I implore you, if you will contact my brother-in-law...
Get dressed.
But...
Get dressed. Or do you want to be marched down the main street to the pokey in your nightshirt?
What, Excuse me, madam.
Delighted.
This'll be your new home for a while, Doc. But then I guess it's not the first time you've seen the inside of a cell. Well, Marshal, who's the new prisoner? You mean you don't recognize him? Oh. Well, that's Doc Bogus, ace counterfeiter.
Why, that's the most...
He's so good at making bad money, they named it all after him.
Doc Bogus, huh? Yeah, sure. I've heard about you.
Marshal, listen to me. For the last time, Marshal.
Relax, Doc. This pokey could be worse.
Please, sir, you must believe me. I am an innocent man.
Sure. We're all innocent here. Relax, Doc. The law's gone. You can drop it now. My name's Billy Behung. Him, that's Garvey. Him, his name's Miss.
Howdy, Doc. Gentlemen, despite the preposterous contention of the Marshal, I am the Honorable Homer Virgilius Potts. And I have a law office in Wall Street.
Oh, Doc, they told me how you could spot them words. But
Well,
you don't have to put no show on for us.
I see that it's useless to try to convince you. Very well. I shall meditate on ways and means of gaining my liberty.
Well, what do you think? Huh? Hey, Doc, you can quit worrying about trying to beat this jug. We're all set to bust out tonight.
I don't comprehend.
Oh, it's simple. You see, I had a couple of hacksaw blades sewed in my boots when they captured us. Yeah, I practically saw it through them bars, so tonight, Doc, out we go.
But breaking jail is a serious felony. Now, as an attorney, let me counsel you.
Doc, fun's fun, but let's not wear it out, huh? Now, we need you. We need your services for a special job.
My services?
Right.
That's right. Now, look. We've been busting our brains trying to figure what to do with the gold we stole from our last job. Now, the Marshal didn't know it, but he did us a big favor when he pulled you in.
Look, all you have to do is to melt down a couple of $100,000 worth of gold coins, remove the alloy so we can sell the bullion.
Yeah, we get the loot cached in the old Rio Oro mine. We get everything you need. We get crucibles, quicksilver, the whole works.
But I'm not Doc Bogus. I don't want to break out, and I will not participate in the commission of a crime.
Doc, you ever hear how I got my name?
Of course not.
Well, it was when I was just a little runt in Crabtree Springs. My old man said about me, you know, he's so mean, I bet Billy be hung before he sprouts a beard. You know, that handle stuck with me ever since. I've been shaving a lot of years, but no rope has ever stretched his neck a lot. I guess old Pappy was kind of wrong in his calculations. Except for one thing.
What was that?
Well, you see, Doc, I'm still plenty mean. Especially when I don't get things my way. So, Doc, whether you like it or not, you're coming along.
Oh.
Attaboy.
Well, the way he carried on, I thought he'd bust a blood vessel.
Now, let him simmer overnight in the clink. Come morning, he'll be so all-fired glad to see Cindy and her pa when they come to claim him that...
What's that?
Well, great day!
Good evening, Mrs. Hank.
Why, Mr. Entanto!
Well, it's sure good to see you gents again.
Marshal Jim.
Well, set you down. Won't take me but a minute to make a fresh pot of coffee.
Thank you, Mrs. Hank. Well, Jim, I understand you have some serious business for Tonto and me.
That's right, mister. As you probably know, in their last holdup, Billy Behung and his bandits took $200,000 worth of gold pieces belonging to a South American republic who'd sent the money to Denver for minting.
But Bandit's in jail now, Marshal Jim.
Well, that's right, Tonto, but the money hasn't turned up. Now, the bandits couldn't have passed it, so they must have hid it before their capture.
If that gold isn't recovered, it can lead to serious international complications for our government.
I've tried every way I know to make those owl hoots admit where they hid that gold. But their lips are sealed clam tight.
We'll have to devise some method of unsealing them.
Well, keep your shirt on. Goodness sake. What is it, Lay?
Ma, where's the Marshal? I've got to see him right away.
Hey, that's my deputy. Yeah, what's up?
Marshal, the train robbers broke jail. Cleared out. Doc Bogus with them.
What?
Great heavens!
They stole some horses from the livery stable and headed west out of town.
Lay, if you round up some men, we'll take out after him. And tell Cindy she'll want to come with us. You heard?
Yes. What about Doc Bogus? Last time I heard of him, he was behind bars.
Well, he still is.
Well, I had a plan, and Jim here arrested his best girl's uncle and claimed he was Doc Bogus.
Oh, we didn't mean any harm by it. It was just a fool scheme to try and help out Cindy and her pa. Now look.
Don't blame yourself, Marshal. You couldn't have anticipated such development.
Oh, if anything ever happens to him, I'll never forgive myself.
And it's up to us to see that nothing does happen. You go ahead and organize your posse. Tonto and I'll ride out and see if we can pick up their trail.
Right.
Poor Uncle Homer. I sure made an owl hoot out of him.
Wait a minute.
Now, what's the matter?
My posterior's aching.
Come on, Doc. Speak English.
Sir, I entreat you, let me dismount a moment. My flesh is bruised and tormented, and my bones are
Now,
pulverized.
look, Doc, we've stopped at least 4 times to let you rest. Each time we stop gives that posse a chance to get closer to us. All right, but this is positively the last time.
Oh, thank you, sir. I shall be eternally grateful to you.
Yeah, but just be quick about it.
Oh, there goes the horse.
Go on after it, Doc. If you lose that animal, you'll be walking from here to doomsday. And be careful how you pick your way, because this whole territory is covered with boarded-up mine shafts.
Come back here! Do you hear me? Come back, I say! Halt! I command you!
Hold it. Look, it's at least 150 feet down to the bottom of that mine shaft. Poor Doc. What an awful way to go.
Poor us, you mean? Now that we lost Doc, we're right back where we started from.
Huh, not quite. We're out of the pokey, aren't we? Come on, let's head to the mine.
Them take the water here, Kimasabe, to cover tracks.
It's impossible to tell whether they rode upstream or downstream.
What we do?
And it's nearly daybreak, Tano. We'll separate. You search the banks downstream. I'll go the other way. Marshal Jim and his posse should be catching up soon.
No use, Marshal. We just plain lost the trail, that's all.
Well, then we'll just have to keep looking until we find it again. We have to meet up with the rest of the posse at Devil's Pass.
Well, come on, what are we waiting for?
Oh, wait! I'm not going to harm you.
I surrender. What's the use? The very fates conspire against me.
Mr. Potts.
False arrest, abducted by hooligans, a joust with death, and now out of nowhere, this new menace.
Mr. Potts, if you let me get a word in edgewise, I can assure you I'm no menace, but a friend.
Then why the mask?
It works for the law.
I've had a sample of your Western law, thanks.
And give us an opportunity to alter your impression. We need your help, Mr. Potts.
My help? How?
In locating the whereabouts of Billy B. Hung and his men.
If I never see them again, it'll be too soon. Why, it was virtually at the forfeit of my life that I managed to escape their clutches.
You'd not only be rendering a service to your community, but to your government as well.
Government, eh? All right. They're hiding out in an abandoned mine. The, Rio Ora, I believe they call it.
Yes, the mine's in the foothills just a few miles away. I'll go there.
You mean we'll... Ooh, go there?
There'll be danger, Mr. Potts. Possibly some shooting. You want to take the chance?
Oh, danger be hanged. The way I look at it, partner, if I'm going to be heroic in this thing, why do it halfway?
All right, let's go. There's the entrance to the mine, Mr. Potts. Down you go.
All right.
Ready? Certainly. I can't hear a thing, but I'm sure they must be down there.
How do you expect to catch them?
You'd better go outside and stand guard.
Well, good luck.
Why, Doc Bogus, say, we all thought you was... Wait a minute. Well, you're no ghost. Say, how'd you find us anyhow?
I have an uncanny gift for locating trouble. Where are the others?
Why, they're down below. I was standing watch. Guess I fell asleep. Come on, we'll get down and tell the fellas you're here.
Now, wait. Don't you think that the sight of me might startle them unnecessarily?
Sure, Doc. Come on, we'll give them a good surprise. Come on. Hey, somebody's coming up. They must have heard our voices.
I did that.
And it's a good thing you did. You saved my life, sir.
Say, that's right. I did, didn't I?
Take his gun and gun belt while I finish tying him.
Yes. Somehow you don't seem to suit me anymore.
When I heard voices, I came up here to investigate, thinking you'd run into trouble. By the looks of things, Mr. Potts, you're well equipped to handle trouble.
Don't you worry about me, partner. Now you get down and round up those other two and I'll ride herd on this hombre.
I figure we got enough grub stashed back there to feed us for a month. How about I get a little shut-eye, huh?
That's a good idea. Get your hand up, both of you. Give yourself up, Billy.
You think you can make me? Garvey, pass me that gun.
I wouldn't try that, Garvey. I'm coming after you, Billy.
Garvey!
Howdy, Mr. Behung. Come on, get over there. Don't you fret, mister. Potts has Billy Behung under control.
Well, I'll be jiggered.
Uncle Homer, you all right?
Right as rainwater, Cindy, as the feller said. Reckon you can take over now, Marshal.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Are you hurt, Kimasabi?
No, Tonham. Marshal, you'll find another one down below. You'd better send one of your men after him before he regains consciousness. Your arrival was well timed, Marshal. But what made you think of coming here to the mine?
Well, your signal, of course.
My signal?
I reckon I'd better explain. You see, when I was a boy, like most boys, I avidly devoured those paperback books about the wild and woolly West. And I remembered, whenever there was trouble and they needed help, they set up smoke signals. So I figured the posse couldn't be too far off, so I lit a little bonfire.
And Ma Hank said you were a city slicker, as green as they come.
Oh, Uncle Homer, I'm awfully sorry you had to be subjected to such a terrible experience.
Terrible? What's terrible about it? We rounded up the owl hoots, didn't we? And how about the gold?
Well, that's rounded up too, Mr. Potts. Marshal, you'll find it down there.
But you missed your coach back to New York. And there won't be another one for a week.
So?
You don't mean, after all that's happened, you're gonna stay?
Well, I think that my law office would seem pretty tame to me now. Besides, this masked stranger pointed out to me that lawyers are needed out west to prosecute men like that Billy Behung.
Oh, Uncle Homer.
Don't you fret, Cindy. If your pa needs money, he may count on me.
We'd better get moving, Tonto, if we want to reach Clarkville by sundown.
Adios, miss. Bye. Say, Marshal, I'd sure like to have you tell me who that masked hombre is.
Well, as long as you've decided to settle down among us barbarians, I'd say he's the kind of Westerner you'd do well to pattern yourself after. He's the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
I'll tell you, I'm scared, Biff. They're going to try us for every crime in the book. It'll be a necktie party for sure. We've gotten out of tight spots before. Yeah, but this time we're wanted for murder, not for just robbery or forgery. 3 murders, to be exact. Yeah, when we get to El Paso, we're through. If we get to El Paso. What do you mean? You can't try us for murder if we're not there for the trial. We'll be there, all right. Sheriff told me they're getting this Lone Ranger fella to deliver us special. The sheriff. Hectus. Have you ever had a real bad stomachache? Stomachache? What do you mean? Never mind. Do like I tell you. Now, you lay down on this bunk and start yelling and moaning. Act like your stomach was killing you. I don't get you, Bill. Oh, never mind. Do like I tell you. Sure. Oh, my stomach. Oh. What are you two hombres up to now? My pal's dying, can't you see? His stomach hurts from something fierce. You probably poisoned his food. Nobody poisoned any food. You hombres are going to die, all right, but it'll be from a rope around your neck. Don't just stand there talking. Do something. Can't you see he's in terrible pain? I don't trust either one of you for a minute. Water. Oh. Gee, Sheriff, ain't you a little bit human? All he wants is a little water. That's the least you can do for him. All right, give me the cup. Thanks, Sheriff. You're a good... Quick, Cactus! Grab his keys. Gee, Sheriff, I'm surprised at you falling for an old trick like that. Whoa. Hello, Tonto. Hello, Ranger. You come for the... Where'd they go?
Your prisoners escaped, Sheriff. How did it happen?
The old stomachache trick, and I fell for it. You're not the first. Them fool many sheriffs.
We'll have to catch them before they get too far.
How can you? You don't even know where they're headed.
They'd have to steal horses, and horses leave tracks. You all right now, Sheriff?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Come on, Tonto.
Hey, Biff, take a look. There's the end of our trail. What do you mean, that cabin? What have you been leading us up here for? Who lives there? Some old galoot been keeping to himself for the last 20 years. Sort of a hermit. Name of old Joe Peters. Heard about him the last time I was up this way. Sure looks like he lives there alone. Hasn't a friend in the world. The only people ever see him are strangers passing by. Folks say he's got a nice, tidy sum of gold hid somewhere, too. Gold? Think we could use that. He's got 2 things we can use more important right now. His cabin and his name. His name? How are you going to use that? You'll see.
heaven's sakes, hold your horses. I'm coming. Sakes alive. What do you two want?
We're lost, mister, and just about half starved. Reckon you could give us some grub and send us on our way?
Sure. Come on in. Have a seat. Today, I'd do anything for anybody.
Something special happening today?
There sure is. My sister Abigail's coming out to live with me. I thought for a minute you was her.
Your sister? What's so exciting about that?
Sakes alive. Why, she's coming clear from St. Louis. Hadn't seen her in over 30 years. It's a long time.
Sure is, mister. Is she coming alone?
Yep. She's a widow now. And I got to figuring that this place would be a lot homier if I had a female to help me share living here. Just finished painting it for her.
You're right, old-timer. A home ain't nothing without a woman in it. Of course, you're going to need more than this cabin to share with her if you're going to take care of her proper.
Oh, I got plenty. Don't worry about that. Been saving up for years. Me and Abby won't want for nothing. Hey, see? She sent me this picture last year.
Say, that's quite a filly. She's a bossy-looking female, if you ask me.
Well, my age, a man needs a woman to be bossing him around. Keep him out of trouble.
Did you send her a picture of you?
Me? Shucks, no. What? I never had a picture took in my life.
Well, then, how's she going to know you're really her brother?
Of course. I'll be waiting right here for her, just like I wrote her would. That's how. Hey, friend, you sure ask a lot of questions.
That's right, mister. I got just one more question to ask. Where do you keep your gold hid?
Gold? What do you mean? I ain't got no gold.
Don't lie to me. Where is it?
Oh, that's your game, is it? Well, you can do whatever you want to me, but I'll never tell you. I'm saving that gold for me and Abby.
All right. I got no time to waste asking questions. I'll get her to tell me. Get out of those clothes. Over there, the cliff. All right, mister. That's far enough.
What am I supposed to do now? Dive off?
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Only I'm going to give you a little help.
You didn't give that old galoot a chance, Bev.
It ain't him I'm thinking of. It's me. Now you savvy what I mean when I say I'm going to use his name? After I shave this mustache off, who'll know the difference?
Yeah, but supposing someone finds his body down there.
The man I just shot was Biff Baker, wanted for murder. From now on, Cactus, I'm Old Joe.
See, I gotta hand it to you, Biff. Why, you're the smartest. Say, how about me? I'm still wanted for murder.
So you are, Cactus. And an honest guy like Old Joe would shoot a killer like you on sight.
Say, what's the matter with you? You lost your mind or something?
Yeah.
Abigail. Got a pretty up for my sister.
Hard to see footprints now, Kemosabe. Wagon tracks rub them out.
I'm sure they're following this road. If Baker and Gleason are headed towards the border, there's no other way than straight ahead.
Maybe if we pass Wagon, we pick up their trail again.
Wagon tracks. I wonder who'd be driving a wagon through this desolate country.
Tracks fresh. Wagon not far ahead.
Neither are Baker and Gleason. That means there's danger ahead for anybody they meet. Let's go.
Get going, Mahitabel. Penelope? Geraldine? Get up, horse.
There's the wagon, Tonto.
Wagon empty. No driver.
That's not good. Whoever was in that wagon may have been ambushed by Baker and Gleason. Come on. Clothes belong to a woman.
You're dead burn right they do. And no masked man in Indian's gonna steal them from me. Throw up your hands. My pappy always said, Abby, he said, when you meet up with bandits, shoot first and ask questions afterwards. And that's what I aim to do. By the time I count 3, you're gonna be the 2 deadest bandits that ever lived. 1, 2...
You're not going to fire that gun, ma'am.
What makes you so sure?
Why, you wouldn't want to kill us any more than we would want to rob you.
You talk mighty strange for a bandit.
Tonto and I aren't bandits. We're your friends. Believe me.
Well, then why are you wearing that mask?
Why are you wearing that hat?
Now, that's a right pert question, young man. Looks awful, don't it?
Mind telling us where you're headed for?
Sure. On my way to my brother's place.
Your brother? You mean someone who live around here?
And why not, Injun? Didn't you ever hear of Joe Peters?
Joe Peters? What does he look like?
Well, mister, I can't rightly say. Haven't seen him for 30 years. Reckon he's changed considerable.
You haven't run across 2 other men on this road, have you?
You're the first humans I've laid eyes on since I hired this darn rig back in town. Now I can't get this consarn critter away from the water hole.
You get in the wagon. By the way, ma'am, if you do see 2 men up ahead on the road, you keep that gun of yours handy. They might be real bandits. Come on, Tonto.
Maybe that cabin of Miss Abigail's brother.
You couldn't have picked a more lonely or deserted spot.
Smoking chimney. Him must be home. Maybe see Baker and Gleason.
They must have come this way. Tonto, look.
Horses look tired. Come plenty long distance.
Yes. They've been ridden hard and fast. I'm sure they're Baker and Gleason's horses.
You think maybe them in cabin?
Someone's in that cabin. If it's them, they'll shoot on sight. We'll leave Silver and Scout here. It must be old Joe. You wait here just in case.
Who's there?
Open the door. I want to talk to you.
Door's open. Come on in. Mind the wet paint.
Howdy.
Sakes alive. You're masked. What is this? A holdup?
No, I'm looking for the men who own those 2 horses out there. Where are they?
Oh, those 2. All right, mister. Get your hands up high and keep them that way.
You don't need a gun, Mr. Peters.
Peters? How'd you know my name?
I met your sister down the road a ways.
And you probably held her up the same as you was going to do to me.
On the contrary, she held me up.
Don't try to soft-talk me. It's easy enough to see you're a friend of those 2 crooks, and I'm going to give you the same as I gave them.
No, you're not. Drop gun.
What the? All right. Go ahead, you've got me. Finish me off.
Nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Peters. Why, we're not after you.
Sakes alive. You mean you're really on the side of the law? If I'd have known that, I'd never pulled a gun on you.
Never mind about the gun. Just tell us where those men are.
Guess they're down the bottom of the canyon.
Bottom of canyon? What happened?
Oh, ornery pokehats they was. Tried to sneak up on me when I was painting my cabin for Abigail. But I seen them coming. Caught them at the edge of the canyon and shot them both. For all I know, they're still at the bottom. No good weasels.
In that case, you've finished our job for us. How do we reach the canyon floor?
It's pretty steep around here. Reckon you'll have to head back a way.
We'd better take a look at those bodies, Tonto. Come on. Bye, Mr. Peters.
There, one of them. Mr. Peters, good shot. Him plenty dead.
Yes, Tonto. This one must be Gleason. He fits the description the sheriff gave us. I wonder where the other one is.
Look, Kimasabi. This one's still alive.
Yes, but still unconscious. Doesn't seem in too bad shape. He was lucky, Tonto. That tree must have broken his fall.
Me thought Sheriff said Biff Baker had mustache.
He must have shaved it off. Figured he wouldn't be recognized that way.
What we do with him, Kimasabi?
We'll patch him up the best we can. Then we'll take him to town. First, I want to look at that wound. Tonto, look at his hands.
Hands? Me not understand.
Look closer.
Me see now.
You make him as comfortable as you can. I'm going back to the cabin. There's a couple of questions I want to ask old Joe.
Recognize me, Joe?
Sakes alive. Sure do, Abby. You're the spitting image of the picture. Come on in.
It's been a long time, Abby. How do I look to you?
After all the traveling I just done, you in this cabin couldn't look better.
I painted it special for you, Abby. Hope you like it.
Lovely shade of gray, just like you wrote me. Oh, it's beautiful, Joe. Say, you're a mite bigger than I expected.
You're a mite prettier than I expected.
Now, Joe, don't you go making jokes about my looks. I know I'm no raving beauty. Sonny, I always remembered you as having blue eyes. They're brown, aren't they?
Well, yes, always was. Shows you how wrong you can be, Abby.
And your hair is not nearly so gray as you wrote me.
Well, I guess I was feeling a little old that day. Say, you remember a lot about my letters. Bet you even remember where I wrote you I keep my gold hid.
Why, sure, Joe. If you wrote me something like that, I wouldn't be likely to forget it. Where's Clarabelle?
Clarabelle?
Yes, the kitten you had here. You wrote me she'd be my very own, a cute little black kitten.
Oh, yes, Clarabelle. Well, Clarabelle died just a couple of days ago, Abby. Poison or something. But never mind about Clarabelle. Let me get your things out of the wagon.
All right, Joe. Just a minute.
Huh?
You're not Joe Peters.
Why, Abby, what are you talking about?
You've been lying all along. Joe Peters does have blue eyes. And he never wrote me where his gold was hid. And there was no kitten named Clarabelle.
You're a fool, woman. Nobody outsmarts Biff Baker and gets away with it.
Biff Baker? You must be one of those two bandits the masked man was talking about. What did you do with my brother?
The same thing I'm going to do with you.
You come any nearer and I'll shoot.
There's nothing sillier than a female with a gun in her hand she don't know how to use.
I tell you, I'll shoot. I got perfect aim.
Yeah? Well, then try hitting me.
Oh.
Miss Abigail, is that you? You all right?
Yes, I'm all right. Come on in.
Reach! Hide!
I'm sorry, mister. You made me do it.
Yeah, and you couldn't have done better. Now, as soon as I get rid of you two and take care of that Indian friend of yours, old Joe won't have an enemy in the world.
It won't work, Baker. We found old Joe at the bottom of the canyon, and he's still alive.
Still alive? What makes you so sure he's old Joe and I'm not?
His hands.
His hands?
That's right. The man who's just finished painting his cabin would have paint on his hands. I don't see any on yours, Baker.
That's mighty smart of you, mister. I should have thought of that myself. But now that you warned me, I'll take care of you two, and then I'll finish old Joe for good.
Oh, no, you won't.
Biff, get over that chair.
Here, mister. Tie the varmints up. And then take me to Joe, quick.
That must be Tonto, Miss Abigail. Let him in, please.
Oh, my.
Me get water.
Joe. Brother Joe, are you all right?
Sakes alive, Abby. Is that you? Oh, my, but you should have grown.
Oh, Joe. Joe, it is you. Oh, Blue. Just like I knowed there was. That no-good rattlesnake tried to make me think there was Brown.
How is he, Tonto?
Him feel much better, Kimasabi.
Yeah, I sure am, Injun. Thanks to your good doctrine. They thought they killed old Joe, but I fooled them. I don't die so easy.
Now, Joe, you just sit quiet. I'm going to take care of you.
Whatever you say, Abby, honey. I hope that polecat didn't hurt you none.
Don't worry, Mr. Peters. Baker won't cause you any more trouble. He's going to pay for his crimes this time for sure. Tonto, you'd better go for the sheriff.
Abigail, honey, you sure weren't lying when you wrote that you was a good cook. You're going to double my weight in a week.
Oh, if you think it's that good, stop talking and start eating. I sure wish that masked man and Injun weren't in such a hurry. I never did get to thank them proper for helping us out so much.
Oh, I reckon they're on their way by now. Because where there's law-breaking that needs taken care of, that's where you'll find Tonto and the Lone Ranger.
The onions. Huh? What'd you say? Oh. Oh, nothing. Oh.
What's the good word, strangers?
Food!
Man, welcome to Huma Huma Nuka Nuka Apua Island. Yorana, Ahatera, Otetane, Inoroha, Motoraha, Iamakai Wahine, you know,
Well, thanks. Gee, did you say that?
Down if I hooked the bar, I wanted to eat the way away. You had to be a seat though here, I don't know so out of a ear away. Told them not, the table, and I'm in a yaway. Told them not, told them not, told them not, told them not.
And we found a new love the back, please, the back. You're cute too, Doc.
We're gonna have roast rabbit. We're gonna have roast rabbit. We're gonna have roast rabbit.
We're gonna have roast rabbit. We're gonna have roast. Oh. On me, would you? Why, you... One false move out of you and I'll...
A ship! We're saved! Hooray! We're saved! We're going on a boat! We're going on a boat! Tra-la-la-la-la-la!
One more year! Have a nice trip, fellas! Farewell! Hurry forward! Don't forget to ride! So long! I'll see you next time! Bye! Goodbye! Enjoy yourself! One way! Farewell!
To ride! Farewell! Bon voyage!
Hello, tune in next week
for the third part of the adventures of Frank and Jessie James. We'll also be showing a couple of Lone Rangers, and we'll have a few more fillers at the end. So thanks again for tuning in.